So what we have here are two waxes from the Pro Detailer magazine's Graphene Megatest. Now, the idea with this test, in case you're not clued in on it, is that they've brewed 3 waxes, so one natural, one with SiO2 and one with graphene, and it's a blind test. So I don't know which 2 of the 3 I've got, and I don't know of the 2 which one's which. So the idea is to get it applied to the car, so we're going to wash that, we're going to prep it, just remove any trace of any old protection, and then we're going to lay these down. We're going to do this in my usual style, so we're going to look at application, gloss finish, water repellency, all of those things, and then there is a slight durability test with these. For me, I'm going to go through a bit of a chemical attack on them, just see how they stand up, and then give my thoughts at the end. So first of all, let's have a look at the waxes. As you can see, very smooth pores both in the jar. You can see there is a slight colour difference between the 2 of them. Is that an indication of one having graphene? Who knows? One is definitely darker than the other, but like we say, we don't know which is which, so let's get them applied. But first, let's get the car ready. So on this side of the car, we're going to start with wax number 2, number 2, number 23. So I'm going to put 2 on this side. So smooth on the pour, very oily. It's a warmer day, it might be helping it just to oil up a bit nice. Loads up nice onto the applicator. Let's get onto the paint. First impressions are very smooth, quite a silky feel to apply, not hard work or anything like that. Slight drag on the applicators because the pot's so small, so I'm just using the tip of the applicator. So definitely a nice application on that one. It went on smooth, didn't feel the need to heavily load up the applicator. Applicator didn't need to be moistened or made wet at any point. So yeah, I would say as far as ease of application, if I had to rate it out of 10 against all the other waxes that I've used in the past, I would say it would be a solid 8. Now just letting it cure. We're on a warmer day today, so we'll keep an eye on it and give it a swipe test shortly, and then we'll see how it removes. Reasonably short cure time on this one, enough that it's given me time to do half the car, which is more than enough. Not taxing on removal. You can feel that initial grab on the cloth, which then disappears, just letting you know that you've got all of the wax off. It's certainly leaving behind a nice finish. I'll pull you around, you can see shortly. There's for sure an improvement in the gloss. So I actually really like the gloss on this one. It lacks a bit of warmth, but it's actually quite a crisp finish on it, which suits the silver really, really well. Yeah. Good amount of gloss from this one. Let's head to the other side and try the other one. Okay, so for this side of the car, it is wax number 23. So this one, to the eye, I don't know if you see it on the camera, I think you should be able to. It's more purple than the other one. The other one was definitely more black. As you used it, the other one appeared to be more blue. Is this an indication as to which one's which? Who the hell knows? They both smell very, very similar. They're unscented, so you're just getting a whiff of solvents and key ingredients and so on. Equally as oily as the first one, so it should go onto the applicator nicely. You can see there, slight purpley tone to this one. Let's get it laid down. So I'd already gave my first impressions on this when I was doing the wing, but the mic wasn't on. Big oops. So this one, very slick to apply. Now, don't get me wrong, the other one wasn't difficult, but this one is easier. So if I had to stack them up and say which one is the easier to apply, then it's this one, number 23. Still feels very, very oily, very smooth to go on, but just seems to be that bit more slick going onto the panel. A little bit easier to spread around, just spreads that little bit further. If this was a direct head-to-head, I would definitely give the win on application to this one. I wonder if it would transfer through to a nice removal as well. We shall see. Yeah, so you definitely got the feel on this one as you're buffing. It's got a slight bite to the cloth, which then disappears very quickly. Lets you know that you've got that removed. And yeah, pleased to say, ease of removal follows the application. So definitely this one, number 23, a little bit slicker to go on, a little bit slicker to come off. So if the other side was an 8 out of 10, I'd probably nudge this up 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. Very straightforward wax. And what about gloss then? Definitely glossy. It certainly added something to the paint. You can see that there. There's a crispness to the reflection. I prefer the gloss on the other side, if I'm being completely honest. This isn't a bad gloss by any means. I'd probably say it's a little bit more synthetic compared to the other one. Maybe a little bit too glassy. Some people are going to love that. For me, out of the two, the other one is the better finish. Okay, so we're half and half the boot. So on this side is wax number 23, and over this side is wax number 2. We're just going to try see how they behave with water. Side 23, as you can see, very tight, uniform beading, quite tall, good contact angle. Moving across, I'd have to say they're pretty on a par. And finally, let's just attack them with a bit of chemical. We've got some Garage Therapy Zero, heavily diluted. We've got 20 ml in a 5 litre bottle. We'll just hit them with a bit of chemical and see if they stand up. Well, that's kind of chewed this side up. Really took it out of it. On the side of number 2, still got some reasonable beading in the middle there. again, it's definitely took a bit of a hit. Let's just give him a bit of a wipe and see what happens. Well, that pretty much broke this side. So, nothing really left doing on any of that. A little bit of water repellency left just on the edge of the panel, but that's pretty flat, that's pretty gone. On the number 2 side, there's something clinging on there, and nothing whelming. I mean, not spectacular from either, but if I had to say one is slightly more chemically resistant, it's got to be that one over that one. Right, let's get it dried before I get water spots. Right, so now that we've got both applied, these are the scorecards that Pro Detailer magazine have sent along. So on application, they have 5 categories. So we've got ease of application, ease of removal, visual improvement, initial water repellency, and tangible slickness. So we'll start with this side, which was wax number 2. Now the card gives me 4 categories or 4 ratings in each category. So we've got poor, average, good, great. So first of all, ease of application. Like I said when I was applying it, it's a straightforward wax to use, so certainly not difficult compared to some that I've tried. But I'm scoring it at an 8 out of 10, which I'm putting in the good category. Likewise for ease of removal, came off easy enough, but scored that one as good. As far as visual improvement, gloss was definitely added. There was an improvement that was there. Not necessarily the type of gloss I'd normally go for, but for sure there was an improvement and it was there clear to see. In terms of water repellency, as you saw, the beading on it was very uniform. There were tall beads, very round. So I've marked that of the 4 scores as a great. And finally, tangible slickness. If you put your fingers across the paint on this, you can feel that there is an improvement in the slickness, but it's not mind-bending. So on that, we've scored it a good. In relation to that, on the opposite side for wax 23, I've tried to score these using the first wax as the benchmark. So that is to say, if I've gave a good on one, I'm simply going to say, has it gone up or down a category? So on ease of application, it was definitely better on that one. So on wax 23, ease of application I've marked as great, and likewise ease of removal. The wax just felt silkier, slicker, going on, coming off, just was that little bit easier. Probably, you know, an 8.5, 9 out of 10 as far as that's concerned. So I've marked those both as great. Visual improvement, the gloss was there. It did make a change, but it's not the type of gloss I like. So I've marked that down, actually dropped that down to an average on wax 23. Water repellency, I think they're on a par, both of them. So great on that one. And finally, on tangible slickness, it is noticeably slicker than wax number 2. So on that one, I've marked that one up as a great as well. All in all, both waxes, you know, if you were to purchase, you wouldn't be disappointed in. But if I had to pick one, it's a difficult one for me to choose because the finish is better on wax number 2, but everything else is better on wax 23. So all in all, to be objective, I'm just going to say that those are the strengths of both waxes and by relation the weaknesses of their counterparts. But yeah, we'll see how they go. As far as performance, I'm going to keep an eye on these over the next few weeks to see how they behave. And that's going to have to come up in a video in the future, but certainly from a chemical side of things, neither one of them really set the world alight. So we'll see how they get on in the real world, do a little bit of real world testing, bit of driving about and see how they hold up. But that's it. Thanks very much for watching. If you want to see everyone's input onto this, you need to catch it in the Pro Detailer magazine when that mega test comes out. I'm not the only one. As far as I'm aware, there are a lot of people that have been sent these waxes, so it should give a good balanced view as to whether or not graphene is the future or if it's fad. We'll see. Thanks very much for watching. Stick around. See you soon. Bye.